I'm Shaken Gaming. This video is about Uncle Ho. I already made one video about Uncle Ho, and I don't usually make two videos about the same hero. But the last video I made was mainly just reading patch notes and his stats and skills, not any footage or any experience. Now I've got some experience, and his event just finished where you were able to get him higher up in stars and thus being useful. So time to cover him once more, I think. Now, what's about Uncle Ho? His stats aren't that great. He's got an estimated health pool calculated from armor, health, shield on a D rating out of A to F. He's got a C rating in speed. He's got a D rating in potency. And then he's got a B rating in tenacity and B rating in damage. But he's only got single target damage skills, so he's not doing a lot of damage anyway with that B rating. So for a new character, that's not very impressive. At the same time, he's got a synergy with Hilda, who didn't get a rework when Pandas got reworked. So she's still a pretty poor tank. So the synergy, having synergies with a poor other hero makes it less worth using the synergy, really, in my opinion. So mediocre or middle ground stats, a synergy with character that doesn't work very well, and he's a panda. So pairing him up with other pandas makes sense, and he definitely benefits or helps the other pandas being on the team, contributing with fire, damage, and burning, which helps Ember, which helps Lake. Those three goes very well together to make quite a havoc of the opponent's team. But still, pandas are far from meta in any way. So, should you build him? That was his worst parts, really. Let's dive into some of the better parts about him. What can he do? Every time he takes a turn, meaning after he uses a skill, he's got 60% chance to inflict daze or burning on 3 random targets for 2 turns. Daze is pretty good in a lot of different situations. For example, on Talon. I think most people know that. Dazing Talon is key to winning against Talon teams. Burning, that helps himself, and it helps Ember, and it helps Lake. That's good as well, and it does damage every time the other character moves. They'll take fire damage, and they will take increased magic damage, 10% increased magic damage for having burning on them. Right from his first turn, he can use his third ability. It doesn't do any damage, but it inflicts accuracy decrease on all enemies for 2 turns, meaning every opponent character has 20% chance to miss their next attack. That's effectively a dodge for your entire team, but you can put dodge up on top and they will have 40% chance to miss. Then he gives crit damage increase to all allies for 2 turns, meaning all. And finally, increases crit chance for pandas for 2 turns. And then the restore 1 turn for to each Hilda's abilities, which is strong if Hilda was worth our time, but she isn't. That's pretty good. He doesn't do any damage, but giving a dodge to your team at the same time as giving crit damage increase, and both for 2 turns, that's pretty strong. And can be used for several things. On top of that, when using it, you've got 60% chance to inflict daze and burning on 3 random targets for 2 turns on top. So that's quite a lot of debuffing. His second ability does single target damage. It's reasonable, it cannot be dodged, and half the damage goes through shield. That's okay. Again, Hilda synergy, who cares? And then the last ability, his basic, 250 physical damage, decreases the dazed or burning target's turn meter by 20%. So he's got turn meter reduction. Nice. Where can he be used and how should he be used? Oh, his runes, I don't need to make a guide for this one because at Quantum actually nailed it the first time. That's what he wants. That's what we'll get. Potency up there, speedy. You want high potency, you want fast. Where did he end? 79% potency and 232 speed. That's good enough for PvP. This will be my suggested setup for both PvP, for both Arena, and Battlegrounds. And tournaments, really. Artifacts, you probably want some potency, unless you're really high. Let's grab this one. Brings him up to 97% potency, meaning he will very rarely miss applying any of his multiple debuffs, which is needed. Now, this setup combined with pandas are very strong in Battlegrounds. If your opponent don't have Ho, he will definitely struggle. My last opponent in Battleground used 9 attacks, I think, to beat my pandas. That was okay. I can live with that. And I'm guessing it was mainly due to this guy, because I had him, the opponent didn't. And that makes a big difference on a panda team, having this guy. Because Lake and Ember's damage will ramp up, and he will apply accuracy decrease to the opponent. So if you're lucky, their Ember will miss one of her big hits. Very useful. For the last part, no, not last part. Let's see what he can do with turn meter reduction. 20%. Let's look at some sheets. This is the characters that can remove turn meter. Turn meter removal is good in every situation, but where is the most benefit from having turn meter reduction? The raid. Phase 1 and Phase 3 turn meter reduction team. That's key to getting big scores in those. Who removes most turn meter? Oh, he's far down. He's so disappointing. General Murdoch, he's got 50% reduction. Buff can remove nearly 47% in one hit. Duo only 30. Baddie 25. Freeze out 25. Foul, Hilda, Ho 20%. Not very impressive. And Demons under buff lead 16.7% turn meter. That's not very good. But what if we factor in the cooldown of each turn meter reduction skill? Duo, every turn it's a basic, he can hit it. 30% reduced. He needs a slow first to remove turn meter now, sadly, but when that's up, he can remove 30% turn meter every turn he takes. Batty goes down from 25 to 20 because Batty's basic skill only got 80% chance to reduce turn meter. So that makes 20. Ooh, look at that. Ho! Consistent every turn. More reliable than Batty because Batty got 25%, but sometimes it will miss. On Ho, you will get 20 every single time. Murdoch, he fell quite a bit. Buff, he's suddenly 5th on the list. Because both his procs are percentage based. So one of them's got 33% chance to reduce only 16.7% turn meter, and the other one has got 30% to remove 30, I think. Yeah. So he goes down quite a bit because it's percentage based. Hilda, she's next with Foul, and Freezard just tiny fraction below, and Demons on the buff lead, they are last. But what about speed? If Duo never hits, who cares if he removes 30% turn meter? And what about Ho? Duo has got very low speed. Ho, as I said, he's got a C rating in speed. No, yeah, C or D, I forgot. C, yeah. So middle of the pack and also in the middle of these turn meter reduction characters. Not very impressive. Let's combine speed and turn meter reduction per turn. If we divide the amount of ticks a character needs to take a turn, a character will take a turn when they have 1,000 speed or speed ticks gained. So taking 1,000 and dividing their speed, it will give a certain amount of ticks that each character needs to take before they take a turn. This amount of ticks I took the turn meter reduction per turn and divided with these ticks. And that gives an effective turn meter removal rank at gear 12 with Duo in the lead. Oh, and look who's second. Ho. General Murdoch and Buff are more or less equal. Batty slightly behind, and then a huge gap down to Foul, Freezard, Hilda, and Demons, who remove more or less the same turn meter, looking over a whole fight. That's nearly it, because this is without any runes. And it's with perfect potency, of course. If we take the next one, I've added speed. 28 speed on the northeastern rune and 8 on all the other runes, just so it's obtainable by everyone. Adding speed changes a bit. Ho and Duo gets even better. General Murdoch is now better than Batty. Oh, better than Batty, because Batty is now better than Buff. So it moves around a bit. But of course, having Buff on a turn meter reduction team is very nice, because he can do he can both slow and he can ability block the ads, and he can apply tenacity down, which is very, very useful. So it should be obvious that Ho is not useless in raid by any means. He's actually the second best turn meter remover in the game. I suggest you start using Ho if you haven't already, and build him up if you've got him 7-starred, because he's definitely worth it in raid, as you can see by this. That was the raid part covered. What else can he do? Can he do arena? Let's find out. I am now on my live account. As you can see, he's only gear 11. I'm missing the last piece. And I no longer have 175 million gold, but 82k. But he's ruined the same way, although I didn't have the same artifact set up, but that's because this is arena, right? Not raid, so that's okay. Can we trust Shaking Gaming? Can raid? Let's see. 7.4 million damage. I'd say he can raid. There's a bit up to number 1 and 2, but that's good enough for me compared to the being 4th there, but being 446 in total hero power. I can live with being only 4th, I guess. What about arena leaders? How many since they started recording this? 112 firsts. So I guess I know a bit about arena as well. If we go over to arena then and look. Rewards payout in 6.5 hours. 5 of 5 attacks left. And I'm rank 4. That's not too bad. It took this guy 1 or 2 hours since I changed my setup to Uncle Ho to him having Uncle Ho as well. So I suppose that's not completely bad. I'm number 4, meaning I can only attack number 3, 2, and 1. Let's try the strongest one. And here's my setup. I've got Talan lead, obviously. I've got Eric, obviously. Getting that debuff immunity up is so important. I got Buff, obviously. And then people have either Titania or Kiri, as their tank. Either can be good. Kiri is more consistent, but Titania offers so much RNG that it's just annoying to fight. And then most people in the top, in the arenas, in the strongest ones, have Garrett here, because he's very strong as well. The trouble with Garrett is that he rarely do a lot, because Eric is on the other side, and his blind move is the strongest thing about his kit, and he doesn't get to do that until Eric has put everything debuff immune anyway, and then he has to wait 2 turns before he can use his blind. Ho only adds 20% dodge across the board, along with a possible daze and burning, but he gets to do it the first turn. That's why I've chosen him instead of Garrett. And I do believe he's better. I've also fallen in rank far less these last 3 days, where I've got Ho on the team instead of Garrett. No one has said to me that I have an annoying setup, so I don't know if that's the case or people just have attacked less lately. I don't know. First thing you want to do is daze the opponent's Talan. No matter if she goes first or your Talan goes first, you want to daze her no matter what. Second, give Talan some turn meter, because she's got a chance that she can AoE on her second attack. That didn't happen this time, but I get a second attack nevertheless. Let's just hit Talan again. And here comes Uncle Ho. Let's see that in slow. Boom. Accuracy decreased on all. Garrett still hit all, so I got nothing there. I I suppose I will, I don't know, I'll just debuff immune. That's good enough. Potency on Eric, and they are debuff immune as well. I can now use the big AoE, but I get so much turn meter that Garrett will blind me in a second because I will take more turns than the debuff immunity lasts. So I will just see if I can take a bit of health out of Titania. Taunt. Next up, nothing we can do except just hit Titania. That's okay. This guy, he can attack. Doesn't matter. He's just there for annoyance because they can miss, I mean. That was okay. All were immune, so he didn't do anything. And if I had Garrett on my team before, he couldn't debuff either, so that didn't matter either. They are still debuff immune all, but this is my second turn, so I might just as well start AoEing and getting some turn meter back. I would have lost it anyway, the debuff immunity, so that didn't matter. And here comes that. Ooh, dodged. 2 dodges. Talan didn't get a chance to ability block because she had accuracy down. That was nice. Sadly, I can still not attack Talan. Doesn't matter. It's okay. Buff up. I don't have accuracy decrease on them anymore, so no point in having that slow speed. And now the fun begins. Because now I can hit stuff, and they are not debuff immune anymore. Boom, all are accuracy down again, and here comes Talan. Boom, boom. The rest doesn't matter. That's it. That wasn't too bad. I might have pulled it off with Garrett as well. I think I would. But that doesn't matter. I just think he's better. He's got that extra RNG factor on top. I did 2 attacks yesterday as well and recorded them on my phone. Maybe I'll just talk gibberish in the end of my video while showing those. I also had him in Battlegrounds, as I said. He can be used in tournaments, everything really. He's a very strong character because of his skill set. His stats are not very good, but he's got turn meter removal, he's got AoE, accuracy down, he's got burning and daze across the board without doing anything on every time he takes a turn. Uncle Ho is a very, very, very good character. Definitely build him, use him. That's it, I think. Unless my 2 arena videos from yesterday aren't finished playing. You can subscribe meanwhile. And other than that, have a great day.